So there's a move that just got way more interesting for the Chicago Bears. And the Bears are kind of pulling back the curtain on something really big. And it's not what anyone expected. And this comes as we are preparing to celebrate Easter Sunday. I hope you have a really blessed weekend and that you have put some time aside to celebrate our Savior and what he has done for us. So I just wanted to mention that. And now if we get to this move, nothing's quite what it seems when we look what the Bears are doing lately. And the Bears have a potential hole at safety looming soon. That's with Brisker, with having some really serious concussion issues. I'm starting to worry about his personal health as he gets older and away from football. And also Kevin Byard, he's not getting any younger. So now we have the volatility of Tyreek Stevenson lately. And long story short, defensive coordinator Dennis Allen, he just revealed an unexpected plan for newly extended Kyler Gordon, and this is going to greatly alleviate some of these concerns at both positions. You see, he was only playing about 68% of the snaps last year, and this is while other top players like Jalen and Byard, they're playing close to 100%. That's going to change in an unexpected way, and we're going to talk about what Dennis Allen said specifically, but first, I want to show you that this isn't just a provocative take for this nickel corner we have in Gordon. He just signed a market-setting contract at nickel, but this news just further underlines what this contract actually is. I'm going to get to that as well. But maybe the best thing to do is to kind of look back on the impact that C.J. Gardner-Johnson had for the New Orleans Saints when Dennis Allen was in charge. Similar situation. Gardner-Johnson was technically a safety, but he was really the Swiss Army knife of this Dennis Allen defense and really the linchpin on the back end. And Allen moved him around like he was playing chess. It's really interesting. He ended up playing slot corner. He ended up playing outside corner, put in lots of time at safety. So basically wherever a potential mismatch or advantage could be found. And he has a similar athletic profile as Gordon, same style as Gordon, toughness at the point of attack, plus plenty of athleticism to cover. And the results were hard to argue. With the deployment of C.J. Gardner-Johnson, man, that's a mouthful. The New Orleans defense at ranked 13th, 4th, and 7th in total defense. And once again, this was during the time in this Dennis Allen defense that Gardner-Johnson was deployed in this fashion. And now this potential role, it's not going to be anything new to Gordon anyways, because if you look back on his history with the Bears, as a rookie in 22, he split time between outside corner and nickel, and then turned his focus solely to nickel in 2023 and 2024. Allen wants to find a way to keep Gordon on the field as much as possible. And if you look at Gordon as a player, he's shown that he can really do it all. Obviously, the guy can blitz. Obviously, the guy can play corner. But he's even got the size to drop back at safety, plus the ball skills. And it puts more pressure on the opposing offense if he's being deployed in this way. Having him move around constantly makes it way easier to disguise coverages, create confusion. And this news was exactly what I was talking about at the time of this extension. I wanted you guys to look at this extension differently. If you label him as a straight nickel corner, which is what Flus was doing, yes, the biggest nickel corner contract in the NFL. But now, especially with this further reinforcement, we need to look at this contract extension differently. He's actually the 21st highest paid corner in the NFL. And once again, just a really smart extension by the Bears without damaging the cap one bit. It actually enhances this cap savings. And now there's more insurance, right? There's more insurance against injuries and age at safety. A ton of help in case in case he can't get it fully together. I actually think he's going to be a resurgent player on this team. I think Tyreek Stevenson is going to be just fine. But still, we've got a plan for contingencies, right? Another corner now in Gordon, playing in tandem with Jalen Johnson, a guy that's signed, a guy that'll play together with Jalen Johnson for the next few years at least. Just a really nice tandem at corner. But let's say you add Terrell Smith to that. He's fantastic, super underrated. And then Tyreek Stevenson, he pans out, which I think he will. What an absolutely fantastic secondary room. Yeah, safety room too, with no pressure to draft for need at any point in the draft. Best player available across the board, no matter what round it is. So let's kind of close with getting to what Dennis Allen had to specifically say on this. And he has been talking the whole time that he has a plan for Kyler Gordon. Ryan Poles, I want to be more specific with the contract. I already covered it a few days ago, but 3-year contract extension worth $40 million. And Poles, if you know him, he wouldn't have done that if Kyler Gordon was just going to be a corner. Was just going to be a nickel corner. That's just not his style. That's not how he structures the cap. He's not really into giving market-setting contracts really anywhere. And for Allen, that doesn't mean locking him in at nickel corner either, or even corner. Let's hear straight from Allen. I've talked to him about this. Where do we find that second position for him where he's not just a nickel guy? This is just this week. Does he go outside and compete at outside corner? Does he compete some at safety? I've told him that he needs to be learning both of these spots right now. So now we're kind of looking at, too, when the Bears wanted a bigger lineup in the past, they'd add a third linebacker. Gordon was typically the DB that got taken off the field. So that's where we kind of got to the point that he was playing only 60%, 68% of the snaps, while you had other corners, other players playing 100%. And it just really makes sense. If you want a bigger lineup on the field, use Gordon in a different capacity. And this is more from Allen. We have guys that have had the flexibility to play a lot of different positions. I really think that's important in today's football, where you're not just locked into one thing, being able to be multiple, do a lot of different things. So that's really something that I think that he can do. And we're also looking at some other potential players playing in different positions. You've got Dio that was just signed at defensive end. He has a size to bounce inside. You've got so much versatility on this team now, and you've got an absolutely top-notch secondary. We just signed TJ Edwards as well long-term, at least for a few more years. Absolute bargain because his contract isn't even in the top 10 players at his position. An absolute tackling machine, and we have him stitched up for the short term. A few years of him, I'll definitely take it. We've got all these players on offense sync up with really good, not only solid contracts for the players, but team-friendly contracts. You can look at this offense. It's going to be together for the next few years, at least intact, without salary cap ramifications that are negative or hamstring the team. Now Poles is turning with this TJ Edwards contract, and now with this Kyler Gordon contract, two absolute linchpins that they've been talking about that are absolute musts for this defense, and they've been saying it from the start. Now they have Gordon stitched in, and he's a positional player that isn't exactly what it seems at the outset. And I really like the way that this coaching staff is communicating, even with the media. They're not really pulling a lot of punches. They're not like playing a shell game. They're being super honest about what their intentions are with the players that are on the roster. And then they end up backing it up with really smart contract moves. We're in such a good spot. This draft needs to get here. We're under a week away, so just be patient. I'm going to be here in the meantime with Bears news on the daily. Bear down, you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.